HCTV Sports is supported by The Spool House. From prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs. Culver's of Hastings. From savory butterburgers to sweet scoops of frozen custard, we've got something handcrafted for everyone.
Making the play.
He gets the pin. Raiders are clawing their way back in this game.
Just snipes one.
It's over. Save. Oh my God!
Did you see that?
Great diving play.
He's hit a touchdown. Hastings Raiders win the ball game.
From McNamara Stadium at Todd Field, this is Minnesota High School Football 2025 as we kick in to Week 7 of the season. Hastings at 3-3, Burnsville in town at 1-5. Nick Tuckner here alongside the mailman Owen Ely, and we have been here enough this season, whether it be in person, watching along from one of our broadcast partners, to see plenty of this squad. And you and I kind of talked about it as we were coming on the air. And it's not a bad thing because you kind of think, well, if these fans are having trouble assuming what they're going to do, maybe other teams are too. And as we look at the Section 3 bracket right now, I should say the standings, St. Thomas 6-0. We know they're going to be the top seed right now. The thing that we're going to talk about all night tonight is what we got in the middle. Hastings at 3-3 overall, Apple Valley at 3-3, Two Rivers at 3-3. Now the Raiders have the edge when it comes to the QRF ranking, kind of a glorified strength of schedule, if you will, from college sports too. Burnsville at 1-5. Now they need a win here tonight to really tighten things up. Maybe sneak in to not having to play in a bye game, or at least host that bye game if they're able to play in that. Now, I realize that some of these teams' overall records might be different than their district record, whatever it might be. That's why they go off the QRF. And the Raiders so far at 3-3, 3 big wins. The opener to start the season, nothing better to get this town fired up the way we did the first week of the year. Go to Jefferson. So many things happened in that one. We call it the Shady Game. 2 tough ones in a row. Chaska, very good team. I know they had their hands full with crosstown rival Chanhassen the last game, but still, Apple Valley, they've been scoring some points. They got a quarterback that can put them up. They're 3-3 right now. I don't look at that game as much as I did earlier on, thinking that's a stinger for the Raiders because we've come back in a homecoming win, 29-19. Just a great come-from-behind win, if you will. Really took over that second half. I know we lost on Friday last week, but we know we were playing in that one as well. But like I was saying, man, we don't know what to expect out of this team. You know, we've played such a weird schedule where the opponent each week is so different than the one we saw the week prior. So for these kids and us watching, we're going, well, this might look different. This might not have worked. Well, that's because this year you're playing a lot of teams you're not as invested in as you would be a Sibley, things like that. And Burnsville's been the same way.
Yeah, no question. It's been a tough season to get a read on. You know, there's multiple 3-possession losses for Hastings, but it didn't play out that way. It didn't feel that way in any of those losses. And yeah, you can make, excuses or reasons for one way or the other, but it's the same with this Burnsville team. I mean, they've ran into some good opponents. That Chanhassen team, like you said, is probably going to win state. They got a 4-star Arkansas commit on there. So, these two teams here tonight, I mean, they're still playing, and I think they're both better than they are on paper.
That Waconia team they played, they're 4-2, and they play in that Chanhassen-Chaska section or district or whatever. I mean, that's if you're 4-2 right now, playing in that mix of teams, I mean, you're a good team. So we know Burnsville has been battle-tested, and we can't look at that 1-5 record here tonight. Oh, my gosh. It's about time for football. It seems like we've been away from you folks for a while, almost too long. But here we are on a Thursday week, a day earlier than many teams will play. Of course, across the river in Prescott, big one tomorrow up in Amory to go to playoffs. As this one's a bouncer taken by Birkin. Birkin will take it to the 25, back to the 20, took a little U-turn, comes back to the 25, through the 30, 35, breaks a tackle to the 41. Twinkle toes, and he finds room, but you know what? That's smart running. Let's find your lane. When you find it, take it. Birkin did just that.
Yeah, he's a deceptively big guy too, and he can move real well. 6'2", 205, and he was lethal on that kick return in the second game against the Jaguars, and there you can kind of see why. Obviously, didn't take it to the crib this time, but just his awareness of where everybody is, teammates, friendly or foes, it's something to behold.
One of those fun things that happen. I mean, just so many in that game on the road at Jefferson early in the year that Mailman and I could have a whole discussion for the entire game length and how much fun we had. Here's the Raiders again, back to pass. Hansen out the right side's caught by Foss. 50 midfield across the stripe to the 45, maybe the 44, and that is a great start. Great return, and now right away you get the passing game going when everybody's thinking 26. All of a sudden you get a beautiful rollout on time. Great pass.
And this is something our director, Hunter, who did the game for Town Square, that St. Thomas game last week, was saying, this Raiders offense, they're starting to get this passing game going, and you're starting to see that. Hopefully that melds with the rushing attack with Shattuck, and hopefully it can form a really formidable offense here for Hastings.
Shady's been something else in his junior year, but so much in his future yet. He'll take the... There he goes. Goodbye. Zach Shattuck, touchdown! I couldn't even get out the big call as he's already in the end zone. Sun is not even down, but it's Shady in Hastings. It's 6-0 blue and gold.
57-yard touchdown there for Shattuck, and that's the opposite of an announcer's curse. I was just saying, the passing sets up the rushing attack here, and Shattuck, this feels like the beginning of the Two Rivers game where we were getting scores. Hopefully, the scoring keeps up in that one. It became a defensive affair as it went on, but he's special, and again, when they can get that pass going.
Oh, that got through, but almost tickled the crossbar, but Weber puts it through, and I didn't mean to cut you up, mailman, because that was kind of a line drive, but we'll take it. Good thing no hands were there, but continue.
No, that was a spooky kick. It's becoming that time of the year. There we see the stats for Shattuck. Make that 17 touchdowns now.
Goodness.
We gotta update that one.
1309. Was that rushing yards? Yep. Okay, so 1309. And there we see Shattuck just get into open territory. And man, when he finds space and he gets literally an arm's length away from the opposing team, he's gone. I mean, he just is gone. There's no stopping him.
That's going to help him extend his lead in the state for rushing yards, and you also got to shout out the blockers too, because you could have drove a truck through that as well. I mean, you got to credit Shady for getting it done, but this team is they got a lot of heart with their blockers,
and they're not. That's a great way to put it. They're not big. They're not, and you go up against some of those big mama jammas like we saw up at Two Rivers. Perennially, they got guys 300 pounds plus, and our little guys. And I'm saying it as a term of endearment here, going toe to toe and head to head, tiring them out all night. I was so impressed that game.
I think Shadeko might be your favorite player.
Oh my gosh, was he good. A heart of a lion, my goodness. This one's going to be taken up the left side by Burnsville, and 30-yard line thereabouts. Taking it out of bounds is going to be Thomas Suba. He is a junior, 6'1", 165, listed as an athlete, so we might see him line up all over the field tonight. Burnsville will take over, kind of Pittsburgh Steeler uniforms, I guess we could say, close to them. I mean, which of the isn't one of the Marine Corps that color? Army. I think Army's close to that, maybe.
I think they're a little more gold.
A little more gold.
It's like Kennesaw State.
That's good. That's good too. Maybe a little Iowa in there, perhaps. Out of the power eye, it looks like here with the man in motion. They'll hand off, and the Raider defense says, "I don't think so." And especially right away, Case and Esterby, who's been a thorn in everybody's side this year.
Well, hopefully for the Raiders' sake, they play like Iowa's offense here tonight.
Oh man, Iowa! What is going on there? Wisconsin too. That's a great play by Hastings, getting that initial penetration. You see Esterby right there. It's a family tradition for the Raiders, of course, of the Esterby kids, and they've been so fun to watch in blue and gold in all of their sports. Second down at 11, a loss of one officially. Great way to start out of the shotgun, called pistol. Handoff in the backfield. Raiders have him bottled up, thrown down, and a minimal gain, if any at all. On the carry is Caleb Kamara, the senior back. Very talented, but there he couldn't get any blocking and kind of caught towards the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you never want to be in this situation where you're out on an island and there's 3 or 4 defenders. Maybe unless you're Shattuck, maybe that's still advantageous, but that's a tough proposition right there.
The way Arnis pushed him over to Boardman, like, come on, yeah, you can come at me, but you got 33 right there to take you down. That was beautiful tackling, team tackling by the Raiders. Working near hash. Here's Burnsville, they're white with black and gold. Back to pass, on a screen, Kamara. He has the ball, 25, 30, 35. Taken down just short of the 40. So I think it's going to be 4th and about 3 maybe here, mailman. Not sure. Where do they get spotted? Right on the 40. It's going to be a punt situation, you'd think.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, it looks like they're going to bring out the special teams here, but you never know the identity of this team, and they're on the road. They're 1-5. You never know how hungry they might get as the game goes on with their play calling, kind of knowing that they already got plenty of losses. What's another?
Right. And right now, too, the thing that the Raiders got to realize, every game's such a long battle, but you've won the first offensive drive, now you've won the first defensive drive. And you got a little win streak going. Raiders will take it on a hop. It's Zach Shattuck who will take it at the 30, 35 to the 40, runs a man over, including one of his own, carries a man, 45, breaks a tackle, and he gets across midfield, and he's loose! There he goes! Shattuck is gone! return touchdown. Why not add that to the repertoire?
That is absolutely unbelievable what just happened. He nearly got tackled by his own teammate. We'll see it here. He nearly got tackled by Grant Birkin. Well, watch it. You'll believe it. He ran into his teammate.
Birkin over. Shakes 3 tackles, 4 tackles, spins away. He's trying to grab his pants. That ain't going to happen. Look at him just, oh my gosh.
Shattuck is not just a running back. He's a playmaker. And he's a good corner, too. He's a great running back. He's a great returner. You just put the ball in his hand and watch him go.
PJ, get down here. Here's the kick. It's good. Weber hits it. I'm serious, PJ Fleck. You get down here.
I have a hard time believing the Gophers couldn't find some sort of usage for a player like that. Well, let's take yet another look at it here. I mean, that is unbelievable. Just the balance he has, the balance, the power, the speed. High-level example, but it's like watching Adrian Peterson, where you watch him on some runs where you like he ran through guys. He has the power. He broke away with speed. It's the tenacity, and the fans obviously appreciate it the most.
There is not much that can make me speechless, folks. And you guys have known through 23 years of me covering blue and gold sports in every one of them. There is not many athletes at the high school level that I have seen that work a football like Zach Shattuck does. I mean, this is unbelievable. And that punt return there and the dynamics. I mean, he was tackled 6 times, including by one of his own guys.
It's like watching a college player play at the high school level. It's totally out of the league.
This will be taken back by Thomas Suba, and he's going to get to about the 33, and that's it. Raiders special teams come in and they do a number on Suba as he brings it back. Zach Shattuck, a rushing touchdown, long one. Then he brings a punt return back, and I don't have the official numbers on those quite yet, but we will have those in just a second. But my goodness, and I had to shout out to Paul Allen, of course, the Minnesota Vikings play-by-play man. I told coaches down there on the field, and also Shady himself, that I would do the Paul Allen he's loose if he got loose. And the first one I couldn't because it was too fast. That one we got is this one will be taken by the quarterback. Great keeper running off left side. That's a first down by Brandon Nussmeier. And the sophomore QB making himself known early on. Nice little run there. He looks a little bit, slippery, if you want to say that.
Well, variety's the spice of life, and they got Hastings, for the most part, thinking he was handing it off to the right side. They would have had him dead to rights, but decided to keep it that time and got a big gain.
And remember, Hastings had trouble stopping the quarterback run with Apple Valley. I mean, he was dynamic in his own right and has been all year. Here's a screen out near side Kamara. 45 midfield, breaks a tackle. 45 near another first down. Tackled by Carter Herman O'Brien. But that's very close, if not a first down. We'll see if they spot this thing. As we'll take a peek again on the screen. A couple quick screens here. We've noticed that they like the short pass game here at Burnsville.
Well, it's high percentage. They're going to move the chain, so that's 2 quick first downs. We'll see if the Raiders' defense can stop them here. This almost feels like a replay of that Two Rivers game where you get off to the hot start. The defense sort of collapses in the first half. The offense is humming, and then it's the inverse in the second. We'll see if it just can't be total domination here on the Raiders' part, but they got to stop them here.
Refined pistol off to the left side. 2 receivers near, 1 to the far side left. And it will be Nussmeier keeping it himself again, running up the middle, and he'll gain about 3, maybe 4. He didn't quite get to the 40-yard line, wrapped up by a gang of Raiders. Getting up off the bottom of the pile for the Raiders is number 70. That's Jack Mosman. Stud on both sides of the ball. Boardman was also in there. Also had some hands in there from Braden Thompson, who's really played well this year.
I think the Raiders are very thankful that they're not going up against that 6'7" Chaska quarterback.
I'm glad we're not.
This guy's a little bit smaller.
I saw him for like 3 consecutive weeks of nightmares. My goodness. This one will be handed off to Kamara. He's dead to rights. And Mosman there again. Somebody's going to have a game tonight, and 70 looks like the guy on the defensive line and, frankly, on the offensive line, too, to create some havoc here. And what a great play. Mosman gets right in initial penetration for Hastings.
Sort of an unsung hero. There's a lot of those guys for Hastings. Every year there's unsung heroes, but that's a guy who definitely doesn't get mentioned enough.
Mosman when he pulls him down, folks, on that replay, and then he just shakes his head yes, like, yeah, he ain't going anywhere. You got to like that. 3rd and 9, 6:50 to go, 14-0 Raiders early on first quarter. Beautiful night. And here's Nussmeier. He'll take the snap. He'll run off right side. Designed run. Breaks a tackle and then gets to about the 40, and that's it. So we're at 4th down at the 40-yard line. And you know what? 14-0 game. Man, I hate to say it this early in the game. You probably have to go for it here, but this is no man's land for a field goal for sure. But it looks like now they're going to bring the punt team in, try to pin the Raiders deep, and maybe set Zach Shattuck up for a 96-yard touchdown run. I don't know. That's probably what I got here.
I think, unfortunately, if you're Burnsville, you got to recognize that you got a special player on the other side, and these possessions matter. And even though you're in no man's land, this is probably a scenario where you would want to go for it.
If you're Burnsville, you want to kick this thing into the concession stand. You don't, oh boy. Instead, they'll go off left side. That's one whale of a punt. That is beautiful. Down inside the 5, coffin corner as they call it. You can't do it any better than that. What a great punt for Burnsville, setting up a wonderful defensive set here. Now they have the Raiders backs up against their own end zone, as we have one of our awesome sponsors to talk about, Mailman.
Absolutely. The Spool House. From prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs. You can find more information at thespoolhouse.com/sewing.html.
Special thank you to the Spool House for making these broadcasts possible on Hastings Community Television. Also want to give a little special shout out to our fans in Burnsville and Burnsville Community Media, picking this one up on tape delay. Nick Tuckner alongside Owen Ely. We're here in Hastings at Todd Field, week 7 of the Minnesota high school football season. We need to take a time out here, by the way. Not us right here, but we do on the field because we did not have the correct personnel. And when we have our backs and tushes up against our own end zone, it's probably right to have the right personnel. So they will take a little chat with Coach Cook and figure out what's going on, and we'll go from there. But man, so far so good. This is going to be a fun test, I think, for Hastings. I'd really like to see how the Raiders can maybe eat up a clock now. Right now you got 5:52 to go here in the first quarter. They got 2 quick scores to start the ball game. And now, you know, I'd like to see this end in a score, but really chew up some of this clock and maybe some of it in the second quarter too.
Well, I'd like to see it, but I wouldn't object if they scored a 98-yard touchdown here.
Oh, you know I like that
I wouldn't
too.
object to it. I'm saying.
I'm just saying, maybe the more touchdowns we get early, the quicker we get to Culver's, Beer Stew, wherever we want to go after the game.
The gridiron.
The gridiron. We can eat in the gridiron. It's got to happen. Here we go. Raiders back out of the timeout. We'll talk about that more later on from the 2. They hand off Shattuck, oh boy, to the 5, to the 10, 15, cuts back, 20, 25, oohs and ahs. That is a easy gain of 23. And he made it look like he was playing Little Raiders in the backyard on a Saturday. My goodness.
It's so effortless. I mean, you lose sight in the fact that, yeah, that's a 25-yard run that he just ripped off, and nobody was even excited about it because he's been scoring these 60-yard touchdowns. You're just like, oh, that's pedestrian. That's normal. There's a good look at the gridiron right there.
Oh, that's my boat right there. That thing, I will fish in that boat someday.
You think it's seaworthy?
Well, we're going to have to ask Pete Zach and Todd Levis and some of those dads that really got that thing in here. If it isn't seaworthy, I'd at least like to have a video on the water when we try to make it to the banks, if you will. I think everybody else in Hastings would like to see that too. Something tells me that. 5:43 to go. So Raiders britches are not up against their own end zone anymore, which is nice. Ball spotted at the 27 officially, calling near side hash left. Raiders got one single setback, and that is not Shady. That'll be given to Adricula, I believe. Yep, and he will gain 1 or so.
Well, I'll tell you, 1 is better than 0 is better than losing yards on there. And this Raiders offense, you know, maybe it's a little different dynamic because they're starting to get the passing game going here over the last couple of games. But, you know, a thing that's hurt the Raiders this season at times is getting lost behind the chains. And any sort of positive play is a good development.
Quick update, Shady Shattuck just came out. He got his elbow taped. He had a little turf burn on the elbow. He's ready to go. Here's a fake pitch going an inside handoff. Finding Hagen. He's got a block and he's got room to midfield. And that's where he goes out of bounds. What a great block setting up near side. That block was what created the play, and Hagen did the rest.
It's not just Shady, and there's the stats for Hagen. He's been used sporadically throughout the year, and they've tried that exact same play a couple of times a game, every single game. It hasn't had too much success throughout the season, but they keep going back to it, which tells you they believe in this sort of concept here.
It's almost like a jet misdirection, really, is what it ends up being. You're trying to fake the one guy out to come out left while bringing the jet around and then having those guys sucked over to the other side. You're going to create room, and when you create one block, man, you get room. And a first down for the Raiders as they set up at the 47. And that's the 47 of Burnsville. And Shady gets the carry, and he's wrapped up around the ankle. But even with that, he still gains a couple and falls forward. And the Raiders get positive yardage out of the deal. So 14-0 Raiders, 4:43 to go. Clock runs first quarter on a beautiful Thursday night. I was going to say Friday night, but it is Thursday. Lots of games on the slate coming up on Friday. And also don't forget on Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. here at Todd Field, the Raider girls soccer team will be in action taking on St. Paul Highland. And that will not be broadcast, but we will have some updates, so stay tuned to our social media channels. We'll have much more throughout the day. And here is Hansen. Sells a beauty of a fake. Puts it up, he's got a man! It's caught by Hagen at the 20, to the 15, and down around the 12. Great play. Great fake. The sell was beautiful, but that very well might have been one of Hansen's best passes of the year.
And great separation too by Hagen as well, which just
look at that
with
ball.
that throw, thing of beauty. Their passing concepts, their route tree is not very expansive,
right.
but they run that play a lot, and boy, they're starting to perfect it as the season's going on. That little rollout.
We're getting into Lundstrom territory, and you know what play I'm talking about too, Mailman. I could very well see that play coming right here as the tight end goes over to the left side of the line. They're going to pitch it off. Shady's got wide open territory. Wide open spaces. I didn't sing it that well, but that's a touchdown, Raiders. And it's 20-0 as Shady's third finds pay dirt. And he has 3 touchdowns in the first 8 minutes and 19 seconds of the game.
And this camera angle doesn't even do it justice. When we're up here in the press box, we could see that was a touchdown as the ball got snapped, because you could just see that entire right side was wide open. The blocking again, making it easy for Shady.
Could have drove a City of Hastings snowplow through that area and still had room to spare. Weber is 3 for 3 on kicks. That one much better when it comes to height. And I'll tell you what, with the Raiders up 21-0 here on a Thursday night, there's no school tomorrow. Our student section down there is going bonkers as you look at Shady drive through that giant gaping hole into a touchdown, his third of the game. But my goodness, these Raider fans have something to scream about tonight. We just saw Dana Strain. He's got to be extremely happy, especially coming out of last week. And now the Raiders really putting things together as they have an opportunity here now to get the football back again. But you know what? It's not even about that. It's the way the defense has played, and they've had opportunities. They've done a great job. Even when Burnsville tried to move the ball a little bit, got into their side of things, they shut them down. I want to see this Raider D play now. Here we go. Look at those.
It's consistent play for Hastings. Throughout the year, we've seen the offense excel, but the defense kind of lag behind, and then we've seen the inverse. But tonight, they're just, both of them are firing. And special teams, too, all 3 phases of the game.
That's a good point, too. Special teams, our kick coverage. Look at this one. This one bounces into the up man. Ball is still loose. Raiders throw bodies in there. Tell me they don't want that football back without telling me they want that football back. My goodness. And who is that down the field? Okay, first of all, give Marshall Lanning a shout-out, okay? With all the soccer he has in his blood, to come up with a nice football play there on special teams. He was down there. He was sniffing that football out. It would have been fun to see Marshall get that thing back for the boys. But, again, guys, you don't always bring up their names. But there you said, special teams again, Lanning showing up and making a big play. Modified pistol, offset to the right. Short side of the field, long side of the field. They had 2 receivers, now 1 in motion. Weird setup that was. And bringing it near side, Nussmeier trying to find room north and south. Not going to get too much. He's going to gain about 5. Yeah, you can see he was just looking for room, and all he saw was blue and gold guys, and all he could really do was kind of run sideways, and that was about it. But even with that, he still gains a couple.
Yeah, I think when he turns the corner right there, maybe he's thinking he can get more than what he got, but you got to give credit to the Raiders and Arnis for closing it out and then making the contact.
That was great. And then in the background, the funniest thing was looking over there and seeing one of the Raiders and Landon Johnson going, if you don't want to run into Arnis, I'm very willing to go ahead and hit you myself. So that was a great team. Again, team pursuit. It isn't even the tackle. It's the pursuit that's setting them up with these plays, as we might have delay a game. This should be a flag. Thank you. And that will be a timeout before the flag. So Burnsville did get the timeout in time, so no penalty will be put forth. 2nd down and 6 when we come back from our timeout here. As again, the Raiders up 21-0 here at home. As you're going to make me hungry, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I'm going to make you hungry here.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
HCTV Sports is brought to you by Culver's of Hastings, located next to Cub in Hastings. You can go get yourself a butter burger. What is it, a concrete mixer?
Concrete mixers.
Get a concrete
flavor
mixer.
of the day.
You were telling me about that. Was that peach?
Orchard peach. Oh, my gosh. I see, and I want to know, like.
Oh, now that's cruel.
Now why do you guys do that to us? And then he throws the King of the Heart steak up there. Hey, King of the Heart Steak, if you guys want to support Hastings Athletics on HCTV, you can give us a call, too. We always put your thing up there. 2:48 to go. Out of the shotgun. Burnsville, again, looking to pass. Nussmeier in trouble. Goes up the middle, and he's going to be close to a first down. I think he got it, actually. He turned something out of nothing and ends up getting a first down here. And, again, he's kind of elusive, slippery, and he does just enough to keep his team going.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, that should have been a 4-yard loss, a 4-yard sack, but he just every single gap except one was getting filled, and he went in the correct gap.
A and C are all locked up, and then you find B, and B is the right one. It's like playing Let's Make a Deal. You got to find the right door. Sometimes he catches Zonk. Here we go, out of the shotgun again, and again a designed run. No way. Raiders said, okay, that's cute and everything, but if you want to try and do that, we're going to take care of you and throw you down and backwards, and that's exactly what Gavin Trost, and it looks like he and Elliot Hagan both that were in there? Looked like Trost. It was Trost. Man, getting some time. Trost, the nice play.
I think we might mention everybody on the roster by the time this game's over.
You're right, buddy. I mean, and what a great thing that would be. Especially knowing we go on the road to a tough place to play for MEA next week. That will not be easy at East. Definitely the better of the two teams this year. In Mankato. Quick screen. Oh, what a hit! What a catch, but what a hit. Ashton Arnis might have the best foot in Dakota County, but he just showed right there that you want to make a catch on the outside with me in your face, you're going to pay the price. And dividends are all over the field as we speak.
And you could see him closing in for about 5 yards. You could just tell that collision was coming. Even more impressive, that wide receiver right there, 47, Wolf Bryant, 35 pounds heavier.
Just a big boy.
Oh, we got some of Hastings' finest here.
Well, and here's the thing, and I always hate seeing that, but it gives me a great opportunity even before this play to thank our first responders for all they do for us. We have great first responders, police, fire, EMS. We have the best in the community, and with a quick flag, I'll get a chance to continue with that thought because I had a chance to work next to a lot of those folks at the fire hall when I worked at KDWA for over 20 years and got to meet so many wonderful people and so many people that have saved the lives of others. You look at Lucas Knoll, that was at Dugarrels, and he is an EMT by trade. And he saved somebody's life with the defibrillator that was there at the bar and grill. And that stuff, he jumped into action. He wasn't on the clock. He wasn't he was out to have dinner with his family. And yet he knew what to do. He was there. He's in the right place because of the training, everything else that we have here. So even when they're off call, they're on call. And I just want to say thank you to our awesome fire, police, EMTs. They're just absolutely fantastic and second to none. So wanted to get that out there for everybody.
It's people that don't do it for the money. They do it for the love of the game, the love of helping people.
Some former Raiders on that staff. Jamie Stevens, of course, Kiki Radke now on the staff down there. Now Kiki Newman, former Raider. We all know who she is. I mean, it's so cool to see them all giving back. Blue and gold every day. Out of the shotgun. Here's Nussmeier looking to pass. No, pulls it down. He is in trouble. Steinsteps a Raider, but he's not going to get around two of them. And then the Raiders send in a whole gang of tacklers led by Mark Sobota, Braden Thompson, and a mess of others. Raiders again continue to do the team thing defensively. And like you and I just said before they even came out defensively, this is what we've wanted to see, is pursuit, team tackling. They've done it. And I'm not trying to jinx anything for the rest of the game, but they've done it perfectly through a quarter.
Yeah, and then this offense is very one-dimensional. I mean, it's the quarterback run, it's the screen passes, which in my mind are an extension of the run. They're not stretching the field vertically, which makes it really easy for the Raiders' defense just to kind of press them at the line.
There's not really a running back game we've seen so far. Here, this is a beautiful punt, first of all. Takes a Raider bounce, and then sideways. Call it the 17, that's fine. Raiders will take it with no time on the clock. We're going to take our first quarter break, as the first quarter very eventful and very wonderful if you're a blue and gold fan. The Hastings Raiders have a 21-0 lead here at the end of one quarter. We will be back with the second right after this on Hastings Community Television.
Today, 4 Minnesotans lost their lives from fentanyl poisoning.
And 4 more will tomorrow.
Fentanyl is the #1 killer of 18 to 45-year-olds.
It's killing more and more 12 to 17-year-olds. They're people we care about.
Like my brother.
My sister.
My best friend.
We have the power to make a difference in our community. Join us in the fight against the fentanyl crisis.
Second quarter here on Hastings Community Television. Alongside Owen Ely, I'm Nick Tuckner, former Raider myself, class of '99. Glad to be here with all of you as we bring you the Hastings Raiders with the football. They're at their own 17-yard line, and the pitch out will go to none other than Shady. And Zach will take it, spins off his own man. Unfortunately, that time his own man got him. Earlier, Birkin could not tackle his own guy. This time, unfortunately, Shady spun into his own man, and that will be one of very few, if any, negative yard runs for Shady Shattuck tonight.
Well, not the first time he ran into his own guy. As we get a look at Carter Hansen's stats here.
They don't overwhelm you, but you know what? They don't have to. He's done his job. It's not his job to, throw for 3,000 yards. He has done his job and done it to a T. I'm so proud of the way he's taken the quarterback load throughout the year. Out of the shotgun, Hansen will take it now. He will roll out strong side near, and he'll put a pass up. He's got a man, too. He had Hagen, and he just got out-jumped. That's a heck of a play on the backside there. In the Burnsville Blaze, put a man up in there, and Alexander Craigie, 5'10", 190 linebacker out there making that play. That's some athleticism.
Especially to get up under a ball like that with Hagen, who's had probably his best game all year offensively here tonight.
That play was awesome. I mean, I know I'm a bleeding heart Raider, but that's a play that might not necessarily show up at the end of the night, but that was a great defensive effort by the Burnsville Blaze. Raiders now with it, 3rd and 10. First time I think we've had a 3rd and 10 all game long. Hansen to pass on a screen, opens up Shady. Now he's going to have to challenge a man, one-on-one, breaks a tackle, breaks a second. But now he's grabbed by the jersey, thrown backwards, maybe got to the 12, if that. We're going to lose some yards.
Yeah, that may be a generous spotting.
I'm not sure what happened on that drive. That wasn't quite us. It was almost like we rushed, right? I mean, it just seemed like we were trying to. We don't have to rush. That's maybe what I'm trying to say.
Well, it's a lot of passes. If you get some incompletions, puts you behind the chain.
Arnis back at the 1. Give it a boom, lefty. Good snap. Arnis spiraling, kind of wobbly kick, but it's going to take a Raider bounce, which is gorgeous. Across midfield, that'll do. That'll do. Attaboy, Ashton Arnis. He puts it about the 46. Burnsville's own. So we'll take that, especially with our backs. Well, from our kicker kicking from the 1, got it across midfield. We'll take that. 10-17 to go here in the first half of a 21-0 Raider lead in Week 7. It's hard to believe. It's Week 7. I'm happy that in Week 7 you and I are not in down parkas and Carhartt coveralls, which is fantastic.
Yeah, boy, the high school season, it's so short. It flies by.
And like I said before the game, year in, year out, it just seems to go faster and faster every year. Wish it would slow down. Pass, screen, that's in trouble too. And if that was a shade back behind that line there, folks, that would have been a fumble, but probably would have went out of bounds. Either way, it's incomplete. And like we've talked about throughout the game, QB run, screen to either side. That's all we have seen from this Burnsville offense so far, and it makes defensively selection a little bit easier.
It's been easy pickings for the safety for Hastings. You just a lot of ball watching because they're not throwing it down the field.
Motion a receiver to the backfield. The quarterback actually keeping the football and running for a first down. A little deception on the run there. Kind of an option run, if anything. A lot of bodies moving as we'll take a look at the replay. You can see that initial handoff, pulls it off his belly. Quarterback keeps it. That receiver that was in motion kind of keeping going to the outside, trying to draw some tacklers or would-be tacklers. Ends up getting 10 out of it. And yeah, all these first down runs from the quarterback have been slippery, kind of weirdish runs, if I can use that term. Out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to each side. They run a spread but barely throw it. It's kind of weird. Back out of the backfield, Kamara will break up the middle and he'll get some yards, about 8.
Yeah, you almost think it would be more beneficial to have a tight formation if you're just going to be running the ball 90% of the time. I mean, he's so slippery. It's hard to get to the outside when you're that spread out and defenders are already on the outside.
Doesn't that make you think, though, now the ball, the ball is at the 31-yard line going in the right direction for Burnsville. This is maybe the spot where they can try to throw you on a post or something, where they haven't done it all game, but maybe that they're close to the end zone. Maybe they try to do it. I don't want them to sting us. On a pass we're not ready for. Here's a pitch out that didn't look all that great at first, but Kamara made something out of it. I think he ends up getting the first down. Kamara made that play.
He did. And I'll tell you what, when they do decide to throw the ball down the field, it probably will catch them by surprise.
Right.
You have, 10, 20, 30 plays of just
Correct.
runs and screens, and yeah, I think it will catch him by surprise. And let's not forget, this kid's only a sophomore, too. I mean, I think he's going to be a real player when he's an upperclassman.
And you've seen South St. Paul, too, on and off throughout the years, too, where they'll run, and finally throw a pass on like the 50th offensive possession of the game and get you for 75 and a touch. So Raiders got to be careful. Nussmeier throws it behind him. Now, if that was not caught, that would have been a fumble. And here is a pass out left side, and Kamara will take it out of bounds, assisted by a plethora of Raiders, including Boardman and Carter Herman O'Brien. So they're getting some chunks here now, or the Blaze, trailing the Raiders 21-0. We've seen some semblances of competency offensively throughout this game, but they haven't put a whole drive together. Now they're getting an opportunity as they're inside the red zone for the first time. Man in motion to the backfield. Handoff, no. Nussmeier keeps it. He is tackled around the ankles. That was one whale of a tackle there by Hastings. Sneaking in there, Mark Swoboda.
And let's not forget, too, when you score these quick touchdowns, the defense, they're using a fair amount of substitutions, but, you're not getting that rest. When you're scoring a 60-yard touchdown and the defense has to go back out there, there is a flip side of scoring so fast, and the defense has been out there. I know it's only the second quarter. Maybe this is more of a factor as we go on, but, you got to figure that plays in a little as well.
Raiders with 3 first-quarter touchdowns, all accumulated by Zach Shady-Shattuck. One of them on a punt return that you're going to have to see again to believe. And we're going to get on a false start against Burnsville. And Raiders all clapping on the field. There hasn't been many of those today. We've had a couple of bluff flags that were timeouts called at the end of a play clock, but give it to both teams, man. I mean, I'm going to give credit when credit's due. Not too many penalties tonight. I like it. Clean football.
Yeah, knock on wood. I mean, you hate to see games that are decided by penalties. I mean, obviously that is a skill to have discipline. It does factor in, but you hate to see games that are decided by anything other than skill.
Especially one like this, it's so important for both teams' playoff hopes, really, and where they could play. Out of the gun, Nussmeier in trouble. He looked like he was going to pass, but we knew he was going to run the whole time, and he gets down near the 10. And that's still going to be short of a first down. He's going to be third, and I don't know where they're going to spot it. I don't know where he stepped out of bounds. Looks like the 12-yard line is the correct spot. So third down at about 5, perhaps, in the red zone. But, yeah, look at, even the little sell, the little quick fake had the Raiders back off just enough that he could get positive yardage.
It's almost like you need a spy or two just to focus in on this guy.
You're right.
When he gets to the outside, but he's like Shady in the sense that he could cut to the inside as well. He knows his running lanes.
He's slippery. And now he'll take it up the middle on a draw, and he'll get down near the 5. That should be a first down with forward progress here. Very close. I think he got it. Boy, that's going to be very close. It's Nussmeier using that clap of the hands on the snap. Different teams like to use different things, whether it be in high school, collegiate, pro football. This is fourth down. He was short, and they're not even going to measure this. For Burnsville, this is the play of their game. It really is. 4th and 1 inside the 10. Call it the 8. For the Raider defense, a chance to flex in front of their own fans. Nussmeier will go under center. He fumbled. He fumbled. The Raiders are going to take it back. Best case scenario. Let's just take it back. And the Raiders do. Fumble recovered by Burnsville, they say, but I want to take a peek and see if Thompson or Carter O'Brien. Nope, Carter Herman O'Brien did not get it. So it's a loss of 3, and the Raiders with the ball. So not a lost fumble, but a turnover on downs. And boy, that is huge for Hastings now, up 21-0, and a kick right in the gut to this Burnsville team.
Well, and it's fortunate for the Raiders, but sort of unfortunate for the viewers because that's the first time they lined up in sort of that T formation. I was curious what play they were going to.
Sure.
I think they were going to run a tush push right there.
It might have been, actually, something.
I was trying to watch the running back, seeing if they were going to block or what they were doing there.
There he goes. He's going to burst through people. Not quite Cam Scattaboo, but he's not afraid to run people over when he gets a carry. And he'll gain positive yards. Call it about 7 for Grant Birkin. Just tough runs on those little interior jets, wing jets, if you will.
Well, for the safety of his health, it's probably a good thing he's not Cam Scattaboo.
Oh, my goodness, fans, if you don't know who I'm talking about, former ASU running back Cam Scattaboo, who plays for the Giants, he is a kamikaze pilot on legs. It's unbelievable.
He's a one-contract running back.
You're very much right. This one spun away. Shady again trying to get outside. If he would have beat that last guy, he had nothing but green in front of him. But he still will get enough to move the chains for that first down, and that's all we needed. And again, overstressing to the boys right now. You don't have to overdo things. You got a 21-0 lead. Get the first downs. Play some good football here now, and they're definitely doing that.
Well, and Shady, he's almost his last two runs, his last 3 runs, he's almost broken off something big, but he's gotten
close.
Suffocated by the defense. You can feel him trying to break out here.
Under center, Hansen. He gives it off to Shattuck. Breaks a tackle going backwards. 20, 25. Are you kidding me? 30, 40. Going to midfield. And he is gone again. Shady Shattuck is gone. And he goes 78 more yards for his 4th touchdown of the game. 27-0 Raiders.
It's just not even fair. I mean, you never want to see a running back who's running backwards 6 yards on the play, unless it's somebody like this who man, he's just hoping to get around that corner. There's so many strengths of Shattuck, but I think his best strength is just turning the corner, because if he gets around a defender, it's over. It is over if he gets to the outside.
He literally had that arm's length, and that was it. That was all he needed. Weber's kick, he is 4 for 4 tonight. Young man.
That's impressive. Kicking extra points is a lot harder than people might think at the high school level.
You are not kidding. You are not kidding.
Well, we'll take another look at the 78-yard Shattuck touchdown here. And again, you get a little nervous when a player's going backwards like that. But, I mean, you might have the best player in the state this year in Zach Shattuck. And, I mean, 4 touchdowns. I mean, obviously he's on pace for something crazy. I mean, this is a special player here. His 20th touchdown on the season. Oh, almost dropped the student there.
I was just going to say, I don't think we need a trip to Hastings Family Dental, even though former Raider Tyler Rohr is there and probably ready to help you. Please don't drop any kids. What we were just informed of, 20 touchdowns for Shady. 20 touchdowns for Zach Shattuck. I can't begin to say how special this young man is, and to say how spoiled we are to have another year after this wonderful stuff as we're going to kick this one out of bounds. Oopsies.
Well, it makes me wonder how many all-purpose yards he has already in this one, because, I mean, multiple long touchdowns.
Dude, we're going to need the accounting calculator and sit down with Dick Craig with coffee for about 3 hours to get those numbers.
Dick Craig is going to be up, and the sun will be up tomorrow when he's done counting the yards.
And you and I will still get that email at 2:15 a.m. or whatever it is. He is so amazing, the best statistician ever, and I mean, you can't ask for a better high school statistician than Dick, and he will have all those stats, and we will share them with you. And, of course, as we get towards our playoff broadcast, whenever that may be, Mailman and I will come jacked with stats for all of you. As the Raiders back out again here with 5:18 to go. Defensively, they come out, and they'll hand it off. Kamara trying to get outside to the right, and Carter Herman O'Brien had him. Got some help still. Kamara runs for a gain of 6. My goodness.
Yeah, you got to credit Kamara. Hasn't had a super long run that he's broken off, but I mean, it's not enough to touch this guy to bring him down. I mean, they are playing through contact as much as they possibly can. Obviously, gang tackling historically a strength for Hastings, and obviously is that way this year, but they're not making it easy.
Last update we have from St. Thomas, they lead Two Rivers 7-0 in the first. As a handoff here will go nowhere. The teeth of the Raider D clamping down their jaws, and not much there. And who's coming off the bottom of that pile? Barrett Boardman's gotten dirty tonight, man.
I guess you could say the autumn wind is a Raider.
The autumn wind is a Raider. Oh man, we need to play that. That should be part of our warm-up. That's a great idea. Yeah, maybe we can play that in Gridiron. Maybe that's the song we could be in there listening to. And
you have the connections here. You got to make this happen. I think it's a major missed opportunity.
All right, I'm gonna get to work. For now, that is an absolute hammer shot in the backfield by the Hastings Raiders. Who is that came shooting in there? 62 for the blue and gold guys. And that is Gabe Furtick, 9th grader. My goodness.
Think that guy's going to be a factor as the years goes on?
Hi, Gabe. I'm Tuck. I have not been familiar with your work until today, but I love it. 4th down. Freshman. Yo. Okay. Love it. And now the Raiders are going to send Shady back. Oh, my goodness. Look at him. He's putting his gloves on. He's waiting to get his gloves on. He might as well punt while he's trying to get his gloves on. Look at him. They're cheering for Shady before he even gets back for the punt. He's still putting his glove on. Oh, just return this one all the way. He got it that time, gained about a half a yard.
That makes me nervous. It makes me nervous when they do that.
Funny, though.
Yeah, well, you can see it right here.
Look at this. He's putting his gloves on. I mean, who else could do that? Oh, my gosh, Shady. Okay, 3:14 to go here in the second quarter. Although it is a team game, Shady 28, Blaze 0. Well, give Webby 4 points. So he gets at least 24 of them. Webby gets the other 4 because he's been pretty good with the foot tonight. Shady in the backfield with Hansen under center. Wingback set up off left side. That's Hagen. Foss near side. That's the pass is going. Foss has it. 25, 30. That might have been a hand in the face mask there, but no call. Either way, that will be complete. Very close. 8, they'll say. So 2 to the first down, but Matty Foss this year, 14 catches, 368 yards. I mean, when you're talking 24.5 yards per catch, I mean, he's a big play receiver. You always talk about big play receivers. He is the Raiders' big play receiver.
He really is. It makes me really sad that, Strain got injured at the beginning of the season, because you just wonder, Strain's such a good player too. If you had two really, and then you got Hagan as well, obviously. You have plenty of options, but.
Interior carry and Grant Birkin, who can do the dirty work better than many and any. He gets the first down on that little jet carry once again. And that will also, as we set the ball, go under 3 minutes to go in this first half that has been all Hastings Raiders. It's been spectacular in all phases. Defense, offense, and special teams have all shown up tonight and made their presence felt. Even some kids off the bench in the first half. A young freshman in Fertig also made a big play on that last drive. Raiders come out tight. Single back. Motion all over the field, per usual, with this new offensive setup for Hastings in that wing. Back to pass. Hansen throws it up deep. He's got Foss. It's caught. 30, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown Raiders! Big play, Matt Foss. He is a big play receiver. Prophecy.
And this is why this Raiders offense is so fun this year. You think historically they're a ground and pound team, grind it out. When has Hastings been a big play offense? I mean, all of their touchdowns tonight, the shortest one they had is 13 yards. They got a 57-yard Shattuck touchdown, a 60-yard punt return, a 78-yard Shattuck rushing touchdown, and now here a 60-yard Foss receiving touchdown. I mean, this is a fun team to watch.
He's got it. 5 of 5. I might want to get Webby a Gatorade after the game. Hey, I love it.
If we're doing hockey stars, he might be the second star of the game.
Yeah. Well, you got Double B in the middle of that defense right now. That kid's been at nothing but just drooling, salivating. Look at now. Please don't drop him. He's a little smaller. At least he's a little smaller. I don't know if their mom or dad is watching right now, but
everybody keep all their teeth.
Everybody's having fun, at least, right? Until, like we said. Although, I wonder if Tyler Rohr's here tonight. He's a former Raider that loves football, so he might even be here. We might have him in the house.
Well, the beauty about that touchdown, too, they would have had a 60-yard touchdown to the outside receiver as well.
That one, dude, he's going to get dropped on his melon.
Where's the board? Where's the board?
Yeah, come on.
Might have to retire that celebration here tonight.
Just the end of it. I mean, I love the push-ups. As a dad, now that I have my own son, okay. 2:20 to go. Pardon my dadness here on a Thursday evening, as this one will be taken back. Oh my goodness, the Raider defense. Carter Herman O'Brien had him back behind the line. Then he breaks through about 3-4 tackles, springing forward. Best return of the night, really, for Suba. And the Raiders have a 35-point lead. Look at it. Just take the look at it. Oh, head's coming through, but they caught him, and then he got kicked in the melon, knocked the cowboy hat off. Look at dude in the back. He's like, oh man, I don't know. I just saved his life. Probably did.
I don't think you want to head spike these metal bleachers here.
No. Dude in the back that caught him there, he probably deserves his own scoop of custard at Culver's. That was a good catch. All right, we'll keep an eye on those guys, too, and the catches they're making in the stands. But we got a game going here that has gone very well for the Raiders so far. 35-0 is your score, with Hastings leading Burnsville in a Thursday night spanking. Man in motion to the backfield. Back to pass. Now he's going to go deep. We talked about this earlier. Raiders tip it, intercepted by Arnis. Are you kidding me? That ball was a dead duck, and it went into the hands of the receiver and then into Arnis' hands, who was falling on his backside. And now we're going to get a flag at the end.
Yeah,
this might actually be, I don't know if that's against the Raiders, though.
It's an avoidable penalty either way for either side. But how about that?
Unreal.
I mean, we talk about there was going to be an element of surprise when they first threw their first deep pass. They knew exactly what was going on that entire time. There was no element of surprise.
Hey, Hunter, rewind that if you can to the part where Arnis jumped over the guy. Like, he did a high jump.
He mossed him.
He literally did a high jump over him like he was on the track. I mean, I've never seen that before. Let's take a look again. Watch this now. When the Raiders get this football back, now Arnis gets the interception, first of all, which was athletic in its own right? Now watch this. He gets up, and he high jumps like he's on the track to get over him, but the play was dead anyway. I mean, great effort, whatever, but I mean, if you're going to practice your high jump in front of your head track coach down there, Coach Jason Cook, why not do it on the turf?
He stepped over him like he was Ty Lue.
That was beautiful. Oh, God. Everybody's going to be going to the internet to figure this one out, too. Oh, Shady breaks another tackle out to the 40, hanging onto the jersey. Still can't get him. 40, midfield, back to the 45, and nice taken down late, grabbed a hold of the back of the jersey. No call, but Shady's just carrying the team on his back and his jersey for that matter, and with under 2 minutes to go, the Raiders are not done yet here in the first half.
I mean, it is unbelievable watching him run the ball. I get so nervous with those jersey pulls, especially when you go out of bounds, because people remember Sam Bradford. That's how he tore his ACL when he was with the Rams, because you start to slow down. You don't think the tackle's coming. That's a dangerous play right there, but luckily Shady's all right.
Raiders wing motion in play. Hastings will go I like it. Birkin with Shady blocking makes a nice block to free up Birkin, and he'll gain 10, 11, 12. Like that's what I picture when Birkin has it, just bouncing off everything. Boom, 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 boom. 12 yards.
Watch the stiff arm here too at the outside. He's got that nice little opposite side stiff arm right there. Oh, he had multiple ones. He pushes that guy out of the way. It probably is not very fun trying to tackle that guy.
I'm telling you, college coaches out there, okay? I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. You want a Swiss Army knife that can do everything on your team? Come talk to number 12. I'm serious. You want this kid on your team.
Top 10 ranked Falcons. Give him a call.
Please do. Here's a pitch out to Shady going right back inside. He's going to be gone, and you knew it. He just found a seam, and you knew he was gone. He had a guy in front of him, and you knew he was gone. Touchdown, Raiders!
And that's going to be Shattuck's 5th touchdown of the first half. I mean, he has got to be on some sort of record pace here. If he can keep this up in the second half, I mean, we'll get another look at it here, but it's literally unbelievable the stuff this guy's doing. I mean, if you're a Hastings Raiders fan, and luckily the crowd filled out really nice here tonight because it was looking a little thin earlier,
right.
But every game you don't watch of this guy, you are missing out on something historic.
Kick is up by Webby. Line drive money. He's 6 of 6 tonight.
Well, I would hate to be in that porta potty when that clanked against it.
I'm going to tell you guys something too. I graduated in '99 here at Hastings, and I graduated with 2 of the best running backs that Hastings has ever had, in Dan Welch and Jake Majeski. Jake is here tonight in the building, and I just looked over to my right and I saw him. There's Shady. I mean, look at that. He's just the best kid ever. But Jake, I just looked over at him, and the look that he gave gazing into the darkness, just shaking his head, smiling. That's how we all feel watching this kid right now. Whether you're one of the best running backs we've ever had in blue and gold as a 45-year-old man watching the kid, or you're one of these students watching this kid play, we're watching something special. We really are.
And I want to stress, this is not just Hastings.
No.
Like, this is a player that if he was on Cretan or if he was on St. Thomas, like these legendary teams, like, you only get a guy like this every generation or two. I mean, I really don't want to oversell it.
I know, but
this is really something special that you're getting to witness.
You're around enough guys that have been around Raider sports enough to realize that this is extremely special for our community to have a team, and even an individual athlete who has worked so well with his team to achieve his individual goals, but in a team sense. I mean, these kids all pull for each other. They pick each other up. They want each other to have success. They love it when their guys come in off the bench. And now tonight, it's 42-0. Some of these guys that do all the heavy lifting, the Shadies, I mean, second half, they're going to be the ones probably cheering on some of these guys, saying, hey, we've done our job. Go and have some fun so we can cheer for you too. That's important.
And Tuck, this is why even if the Raiders end the season at 4-4, you could never count this team out in the sections because you have such a game-breaking player. You could be against the number 1 seed. It doesn't matter. You could never count them out.
Yep. No, you're totally right. And right there, look at the Hastings defense. They have been just shooting in for negative yards all night, and Barrett Boardman has been an absolute animal all game long. And right here, you see 33 first on the scene. get some help from his boys, too. This team tackling stuff, man. I mean, this is what we want to see the rest of the year. You know who you're playing next week. You know how tough it is to go down there. Now, you might not know because you haven't played there, but you've heard the lore of the Mankato teams for so many years. Their dads have told them stories about how good those teams have been. They know, but to play a game like this, to get them ready for it, got to have confidence. Right now, the Raiders trying to do that, and Nussmeier's going to get into some open space.
I think when it's all said and done, Nussmeier is going to have a very surprising amount of rushing yards. I mean,
yes.
we focus a lot on Shattuck and the Raiders' offense, but I mean, he's getting 2 or 3 of these runs every single time, you know, the Burnsville touches the ball.
Which is fine and dandy, but the thing is there's nothing. Oh, not right now.
A little premature.
Guys, not now. But I think that just ending this half, leaving the scoreboard is hopefully you're going to have a lot of things, good things to talk about and really get ready for in that second half. As this one up the middle and breaking through Kamara, man, that was some wheels. Split right through there. He got up the field with a burst, gain of 15, first down. 23 seconds left first half. But, man, let's watch Kamara pound the hole here. Oof.
Well, he takes a licking at the end of this one. Who was that? That wasn't no, that was
Herman O'Brien. My goodness.
Man, again, only 150 pounds. They play so much bigger than they are.
He has, since he's become a Raider, that has been his game. And a run by Kamara off the left side will only get to the 40-yard line, and I wouldn't be shocked. They're going to call timeout, aren't they? I think so. They're going to try to get one more play off here. If I'm not mistaken, now it's hard for me to think back that far after all the fun we've had this first half, but I think Burnsville gets the ball to start the second half. Because didn't we score right away?
Yeah, we scored right away.
Right away. So we will play defense, but really for us that might not be a bad thing considering our defense has been nothing short of electric tonight.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, you're up by 6 scores. It's pretty nice however you slice it.
Slice. Pizza? Ooh.
I don't think we
It's
have
amazing that you just say one word and you guys all know where my mind's going. Everybody that is watching right now is like, oh gosh, it's halftime. This is usually the time where Tuck starts to ponder. I can't smell the stube yet. Okay, out of the shotgun, back to business. Nussmeier, he'll pass out right. Say he was down on a knee, dude. You're down. Yeah, you caught it and everything, but you're down, bro. This is
a little anticlimactic.
Yeah, that's on a knee. Yeah, move him back. That should be run the clock. Yeah, that's it for the half. Anticlimactic in the way the half ends, I guess, as well as that final play. Well, Hunter, I don't know if you have 8 million touchdowns queued up, but boy, look at Shady! That's a fun kid as they all take off down to the tunnel, and they'll have plenty to chat about for the good and really some fun stuff to get ready for as we take a look at Shady. That first one, you kind of knew he was out of here.
You know, that's going to be the common theme here tonight with a lot of these. That was his first one. Only like 90 seconds into the game, 57 yards is the legendary 60-yard return here.
Breaks 8,241 tackles and somehow gets out of there. Are you kidding me? Yeah,
fights his own teammates on that one.
He almost got tackled by Birkin, but actually Shady ran him over, putting him on the turf personally. And then that gaping hole up the right side, that counter trap, beautiful run, and finishes that up with that touchdown as well. And then here's to the near side, and again, where he cuts backwards just to create room for himself, and then it's all Shady the rest of the way.
Oh, you said it. You think you got him trapped in, but there's always an escape route for this guy. You never truly have him contained.
Now this, maybe one of the prettiest passes of the year, and Hansen's had a couple tonight. And this one to Matt Foss. He takes that to the house, and we talked just moments before that happened about Matt Foss being a big play receiver at 24.5 yards per catch, and then Shady just does his stuff and breaks another one and just makes it look so easy here in this first half, which ends in a 42-0 Raider lead.
How fun is the locker room right now?
I kind of want to head down there and see what's going on, to be honest with you, if I can't jump in that party. But got a bunch of little kids coming on. I think they might be some of our little dancers. So we're going to watch some of their fun, and we'll come back with your second half of craziness, I'm sure, with the Raiders leading 42-0 at half on Hastings Community Television.
What a move, what a goal! Oh, what a shot, scores! The Raiders, can they get the lift? Yes, they do.
Just snipes one.
Oh my God! And reaching up and making the play. It's moving. It is over.
Looking to throw, and she's going to get the first down.
Gone! Touchdown Raiders!
But here is the difference for the class of 1990.
We went from Mile High Eagles to Alan Peck.
I know you're all excited about Y2K. You could lose power or party like it's 1999.
Hastings High School has been graduating seniors since the first commencement in 1870. Congratulations, class of 2023. Go Raiders!
Funding for community TV is in rapid decline, and HCTV will not survive without your help. Let your local representatives know that you support community TV. To learn more, visit savecommunitytv.com.
And we're back. Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. We are here at McNamara Stadium at Todd Field. Nick Tuckner alongside the mailman, and that's Owen Ely. And we're glad that you're with us here tonight. It was a beautiful night. It looks like we might get a couple of showers here in the second half. It'll be interesting to see how that will affect the game in the second half. The ball gets maybe a little bit slippery. That always seems to play into a football game, especially in the high school level. In a game that's 42-0, you might see some second, third team guys in there. It's going to be very important, I think, for the guys now to really keep those hands in check and make sure they hang on to the football.
Yeah, no question. I think we got to make sure that Shady Shattuck has his gloves on. He's not scrambling for it like he was on that punt return. But yeah, I think this should shape up to be a great one. It makes me wonder about Coach Strain's mentality, his philosophy here. You're up big. You got to figure some records are maybe at stake for Shattuck. Does he play it conservative? Does he get some of his backups in there? Which I think will happen at some point, sure. But does it come sooner or later? Do they still go ham with Shattuck, or how does their play calling get affected here? I think these are all interesting things that we're going to find out here, as long as the showers stay out of here.
8 carries. Okay, he had 8 carries, fans. Okay, 8 carries. 219 yards and 5 touchdowns, 4 on the ground. Also a 60-some yard punt return touchdown. He's right at 300 yards all-purpose in one game. That alone, not many Raiders have been able to do that. I mean, I can't overstate. I don't want to understate it, but I have to keep telling you folks, 23 years, there ain't been a man like 26 back there.
Well, how many did he have in the Jaguars game? Was it like 490 or something?
Some ridiculous video game number that I can't even put up playing on rookie mode. And here is a good kick by Weber, kind of picking it up late. Going to try to bring it back up the middle this time. A new returner, this time Alex Crumweedy will get a return. Earlier on today, we've seen quite a bit of Thomas Suba, but not here anymore. We got some fans that are starting to make their way to the exits just because there is rain. We have, yes, fans, believe it or not, seen lightning off to the north and west, so we are keeping an eye on that as we bring you this broadcast. So we will hopefully not have any type of delay, but if we do, we will be right here along for the fun and hopefully be able to bring you whatever is remaining. And here's the other thing too, if it stays 42-0, it gets into a delay situation, the game really could very well be over if it's some sort of an hour-plus delay.
Well, hopefully it's not like that Apple Valley game that was going on until basically midnight.
Oh, my goodness. Was that something else? Here is a fake handoff. Raiders in the backfield. They had him. He'll scramble out right. They still got him bottled up, and they sack him. Off the far right side, Raiders had Thompson and Johnson both there to get the sack. Raider defense just not doing anything. I mean, one side to the other, I mean, the Raiders are just there in bunches, in droves.
It's like a tsunami of blue and gold. I mean, they are relentless.
Oh, man. 11:16 to go. Third quarter, Raiders up 42-0. Here's a screen. Screen to Crumweedy, who's actually playing some receiver, and then he gets absolutely pasted. Carter Herman O'Brien came in late to finish the tackle, and he might be a little bit cobwebbed there. Going to shake him out as he goes back to the huddle. Yeah, he took a little shot to the head there and is adjusting his helmet. He looks to be okay. So 3rd and 16 now for this Burnsville team, who has had some very tough trials and tribulations the last couple of years.
Well, it certainly has not been any easier here tonight.
And not only that, I mean, I know they've had a tough schedule, but the Raiders put 42 on these guys in the first half. Unbelievable, and there's a fumble. Speaking of unbelievable, the Raiders, did they just grab the ball inside the red zone? Kamara did fumble. It's going to be 4th down anyway. Raiders did not get it back. They really wanted to keep that thing, too, in the vicinity. Mark Swoboda, who's really gotten some good run here tonight. Swoboda also wrestler for the Raiders and utilizing some of those talents. And, boy, he has really looked good tackling here tonight for Hastings.
I mean, who hasn't looked good here tonight for Hastings? I mean, everybody is playing lights out here tonight. Now, we'll see. There's kind of been, we haven't seen the Raiders punt, I think, but once. But there's been some pretty good punting in this game.
Look at that one. Wow, it looked like it was going to be a little more than what it was, and it ends up rolling that way. Down to the 32 of the Raiders. Boy, at first I'm going, it looks good off the foot. Well, maybe not. And then it takes a 20-yard bounce into Raider territory. Let's eat some clock here. Let's eat some clock, play some good football here. And I'm not saying I don't want to rub it in. I don't want to get a blowout win. I mean, I do. Don't get me wrong. But I also have a ton of respect for the Blaze team, the high school, the history. There's no reason to just keep sticking it to them. Run the clock, get some first downs, play some good football.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. I think it's disrespectful to go easy on them. I'd like to see them.
Yeah.
You could be kind of a both mindsets. I mean, when Shattuck is so close, surely to some of these records, I would hate to see him get so close and then, maybe it's a little too conservative. But yeah, you don't want to. I get where you're coming from. You don't want to rub it in.
Shady's, I think, done for the evening. Adricula will take the ball, and he will skip through the middle. He got some room, spun away, got a gain of about 6. And a kid. Yeah, Shady's probably done. He's got the helmet in the hand. Talking with some of the boys, he and Shadenko. Yeah, I got some of the starters down there as you take a look at a strong run by Adricula. Little package, but man, he runs hard. I love the way he runs and returns in the return game. Not afraid of anything. I remember watching him up at that park scrimmage before the first week of the year and watching him run so hard against some of those ones from Park. And he looked really good. So let's see if we can get Adricula into the end zone perhaps. There's a nice inside handoff that will be taken back towards the first down marker. Very close. Swoboda getting a carry, and we're going to see quite a few of these guys checking in. And Swoboda kind of running all of Grant Birkin right now. That wing back, kind of trappy, jetty type of running back / wing back.
Well, I'm sure you're correct about the scrimmage. Unfortunately, I will say, as a Cottage Grove resident, I think a lot it's been looking pretty good against Park this year.
Hey, I still love those guys up there. They know I have a whole bunch of love for them, but it's been tough sledding. We know that. A couple of games this year just haven't gone the Wolfpack's way. It'd be fun to check in with Phil Kimmel here soon, see how they're all doing. Adricula again, nice positive yard carry, gains about 4. And this is what you and I just talked about before the start of the drive. Positive yards, each carry, each pass, keep the clock running, do it well. And you got 1s and 2s even on the line right now that are come out and playing some good football. And you never know if we're going to need one of these guys in a clutch playoff situation.
And it's important, too, because we've seen sporadic carries from Adricula, and they haven't been super successful this year. But he's only getting 1 carry, and then he's going out for a quarter, so he doesn't have the time to get the momentum or the experience. This is a valuable time for a guy like him, only a sophomore.
Reps so important. And right there, another just explosive run. His first couple steps, a la Shady, those first couple steps, really good. And then he can find his area to cut. And right there, again, just a quick power run left to right like that into the logo. And, man, just running hard. That's what we want to see out of our guys, whether it's Shady, whether it's Adricula, whether it's Swoboda or anybody, Birkin. You're going to get that tough running style that coaches Cook and Strain have really come to instill in our boys, and those youth coaches too. Got a shout out to them getting them ready for these spots. And a handoff here. The Raiders will get very close to a first down. One guy I haven't said his name tonight, Beisel. I don't see Beisel anywhere. He's on the field. He's over there. I see him on the sideline, but hopefully he was okay tonight. Maybe he was just doing his job so well that I didn't notice him.
He was doing his job so well you didn't notice him. He was there. He was underneath on the interception. He was the guy who ran into the receiver underneath.
And a lot of times, when you're not noticing certain things, they're playing a lot better than you might think. And that's a first down too for the Raiders, by the way.
You're so right. It sounds contradictive, but if you're not being noticed, sometimes that really is a positive.
Without a doubt. And here's Adricula again. Good first step, got through the hole and gained 6. Very nice run by Nathaniel Adricula. And what do you know? You put the bat signal out for Dr. Tyler Rohr, longtime former Raider, multi-sport athlete. He's listening and watching tonight. So I want to give another shout out to my buddy, Ty, dentist, Hastings Family Dental Care, the preferred dentist of the Tuckner clan and of Raider Nation. 5:50 to go. here in the third quarter. 42-0 as the Raiders will hand it off. And we have another ball carrier here. And that will be Keller. Wonderful to see Lucas Keller running the ball here. He is a junior, also plays some linebacker well, but I know talking to his mama and pops, of course, Alyssa, his mom, but Derek Geheimer is his stepdad, who is a former Raider and one of the most tenacious tacklers we've ever had in blue and gold. So you got that household that has a lot of thump, we'll say. And here is Hansen giving it off, this time to Adricula, steps across the line, more positive yards. That young man's running the ball with some heart here. Hit it 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and if we can keep this at 42-0, we will have a running clock in that fourth quarter, which for many of us tonight would be very welcome, I'm sure, with still many parents working tomorrow. Kids will have off school tomorrow.
A lot of fun days coming up. I'll be disappointed if Adricula doesn't go out for Halloween as a Dracula.
A Dracula, that's a good one. Here's a handoff. Speaking, oh, look, he got pulled down by his mask. No call. Might have been kind of around the shoulders. Still positive yards. Playing it hard here. Raiders now also checking in, I believe, a new quarterback now in Zach Simon. So I just saw Pops up here a little bit ago. Of course, Derek, his dad, one of the brain wizards with the Hastings Hawks amateur baseball team. One of the front office fellas that make everything go behind the scenes, with Bruce Karnick and many others, Johnny Stocker, some other folks we know and love. Here's a handoff, Adricula, first down, Nathaniel. Atta kid. I love watching him run the football. First down, Raiders, and Adricula carrying Hastings on this drive and doing kind of like we talked about early on, is let's just keep moving the ball with positive yards, move the clock as Keller checks back in. And there he is, D. Simon, stud muffin. He was up here when we were talking about Shady's numbers at halftime. 8 carries, 219, 4 touches, and an extra touch on the punt return. And we just all kind of laughed and said, I can't believe it. I mean, that's all we could say. Keller also back there with Adricula. He'll set up the block as Nathaniel breaks through. 20, 15, cuts back 10, down to the 6. Best run of the season for Nathaniel Adricula.
Starting to pick up momentum. You could tell once he got downfield a little bit, he was thinking he was going to the end zone here, trying to cut back to the inside as you see right there.
We're getting one of these guys in the end zone. We're getting one of these guys. One of these subs are getting in. We're getting them in.
It's not as explosive as an offense without Shattuck, but it sure is moving here on this drive.
Hagen is out there in regards to some of the former starters. Ryder Ashcraft lined up as a wing back. Adricula will take the carry, gets down to the 5, and that's about it. Gain 2 officially with 2:45 to go. Tick, 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 tick. Third quarter here at Todd Field, 42-0 Raiders, and what has been a beautiful Thursday. We're still awaiting these raindrops that we've talked about really all day. I mean, we had texted about noon, and we were all teasing each other, saying it was going to rain today, and we're going to do this and that and everything else.
Talking about the SPC.
I could not. Who sent that? Was that Max that sent the SPC? I was really impressed because I thought I was the only weather nerd that actually checked that stuff out from the Storm Prediction Center. But yeah, we got a good look at that today. Here's a handoff on the inside to Keller. And he'll get about a yard. That little jet. And look at that guy. Is that my SPC guy?
I think that's our resident SPC guy.
Are you SPC? I love it. Yeah, what's up, SPC? I love it. That's good stuff.
That's good. We're big SPC respecters around here.
We definitely are. We love the Storm Prediction Center down in Norman, Oklahoma. We love them. And also Bill Borghoff and all my buddies over at the National Weather Service in Chanhassen. Shout out to those guys. They're probably listening to that purple team over on the west side of the metro. Here is Adricula to the 5. Touchdown! There we go. Nathaniel Adricula into the end zone, and that's fun. There's nothing better than seeing that, right? Come on.
It's good when you can put your second teamers in there and you don't really skip a beat offensively. That's got to feel good for somebody like Adricula who, factors into to be an important player as the years go on. He's only a sophomore.
Think of the complimentary stuff he'll give Shady next year. I mean, can I even put thought to that? Here is the extra point by Weber, and he is true again. Man, Cody's put up a whole 7 himself tonight. He's pretty much scored a touchdown and added the extra point just with his foot. And because of that, it's 49-0 tonight. Look at Simon. Good. A little high, maybe a little excited, but Adricula pulls it down. And he had full space as he looked towards Gridiron and made his way into the end zone.
Now, if he would have hopped into Gridiron, that would have been
someone's got
an extra level.
Dude, somebody's got to do, just like Ezekiel Elliott when he jumped into the Salvation Army kettle. That was one of the best touchdown celebrations ever. We're going to go to Culver's after the game. I could probably put money on that. Located next to Cub in Hastings. You can go to www.culvers.com and check out more of the offerings that they have for you, including those flavors of the day when it comes to your custard. It's so good. And my favorite, of course, Orchard Peach. And when you see it up on the placard that day, don't be afraid to stop and try it. As the kickoff will be taken at the 5 to the 10 to the 20, 25 to the 30, runs a man over. 3 Raiders take the oncoming returner down. And I believe that to be Crumlady. It is.
Now, Tuck, how about this? Can we get a life-size Butterburger that you can jump in the end zone for a touchdown celebration?
That's something we're going to have to talk to Josh about. If he can get that for us, I would be more than willing to be the test rat. How would you call that? I could be the meat between the buns. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's really good. I could be the ketchup and the mustard. I don't know. I bet
we'll work on it.
Yeah, I would love to be in the middle of a giant Butterburger. Some people call me a giant Butterburger. Hey,
I wasn't gonna say it.
Yes, you were. We're offsides. We were. I thought we were. Maybe not. Back to pass, in trouble, and thrown out of bounds. An ankle tackle there for Hastings by Max Saracen.
There was a sneaky fumble there at the end of that sequence.
Was he out of bounds?
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
That would have been fun to get the ball back again, but like we said, 49-0 here with 1:15 to go. So at the end of the 75 seconds, we will have some running time, and that might be a good thing with some kids running to the exits. Just a couple little spritzies. Hand off up the middle. Kamara will go forward about 2 more yards. So 3rd down. This is going to be about 6, maybe 7. As the raindrops now will pick up a little bit.
I get so nervous when I see defenders when they fall down with the back of their head going backwards. Because defenders are crashing in. Luckily, nothing happened there. But when you're sitting on top of a defender and you're going backwards, I always get so nervous because it's so easy to tap the back of the head in a situation like that.
David Franzen in the house, one of the Hastings Hurricanes leading batting average players this year, as the Raiders will be flagged for a late tackle out of bounds. Unfortunately, as Carson Herman got a little too excited, taking his man out of bounds with 32 seconds left.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything malicious there, but they do play to the boundary. Well, evidently beyond the boundary right there, but they do play to the boundary. They're not going easy.
I don't think Dana is going to say that that's a bad penalty for playing hard to the whistle and maybe a little more than some, but the kids, especially the ones that have come off the bench, are so excited, to be under the lights. It's on field, big student section still overflowing, even with a lot of traffic making their way with a couple of raindrops towards the exits. This is a big deal for some of these kids, if not everyone that's out there right now on the blue and gold side. Opportunity, back to pass. You know he's not going to, and he'll take it forward. That ball came out. Who's got it? Looks like one of the linemen from Burnsville gets on top of it. So it'll be second down and about 8. Let's see where this thing comes out here. It looks like Nussmeier just kind of lost grip on it, carrying it with one hand, and he did. He got it tapped out of there. But luckily for Burnsville, they were able to jump on top of it here with no time left on the clock. That'll be the end of the third quarter with the score. Hastings 49 on the touchdown from Madricula, and Burnsville nothing. After 3, the rain is starting to come down. We'll break and come back with more in a moment. This is Hastings Raider football on Hastings Community Television.
Their communities. We have over 40 professional teams that partner with us for free tickets and camps. We provide access to free sporting equipment.
UHL has provided us with a lot of equipment and a lot of gear that is otherwise sometimes hard to attain.
It's really cool. I get all this free stuff, and it's because of my great dad, who is a veteran.
UHL has been a great supporter, not just for our family, but for all the military families.
We're excited to see what the future holds. We can't wait to see where it goes.
Cameron Lanning. Welcome back, everybody. The rain is falling here at McNamara Stadium at Todd Field, coming down at a pretty decent pace now, as the big cheer there was for Cameron Lanning, who just checked into the game. Here's Kamara breaking a tackle and getting up towards Lanning, who blisters him. And a big round of applause for Lanning as Coach Strain, the first one to lead the charge of clapping for Lanning with the big tackle. Man, he was really wanted by the fan club to get out there, and now he makes his first tackle, even though it was on a first down. Pretty darn special for Lanning. Yeah, there we go.
Tuck, you're right. There is a mass exodus going on here in the stands.
They're making their way out of here. Nussmeier will try to keep it. Now slipping and sliding off of everybody. Gaining 6.5 there on first down as they get into Hastings territory. Does Burnsville 49-0 here in the fourth quarter running time. Nick Tuckner alongside Owen Ely. A very good night for Hastings, for the Raider football program, for our dancers who again were awesome at halftime. Big shout out to our Hastings Raider dance team and the youth dancers that were out there at halftime. Fantastic performance again. So proud of you kids. Back to pass. This one's going to be caught near side Crumweedy, and he will get across the 30-yard line. But I'm not sure, did he get the first down or not? We'll have to wait and see where the spot is. Looks like he might have just got it. They're going to move the chains with 10:38 to go.
Yeah, they're generally pretty generous with the spots. I think they got the right call there.
Clock running, 10:25 to play here in the game. Hastings leading 49-0 over Burnsville. Led 42-0 at halftime. Shady Shattuck 5 touchdowns in the first half, including a punt return to go along with 4 rushing TDs. This pass air-mailed. Wound up in the Beer Stew parking lot.
Yeah, you got to figure that the rain is impacting the ability to throw the ball. I mean, we saw, even when it was just a couple of drops, I mean, we were seeing that kind of effect. I mean, how many fumbles did Burnsville have in that last sequence?
You might be predicting the future here. I think that could very well happen again here. Man in motion to the backfield. Handoff Kamara up the middle. He'll gain 4.
Kamara, the ball carrier.
9:30 to play. Tick, tick, tick here. Fourth quarter of action here at McNamara Stadium at Todd Field. What started as an absolutely gorgeous Thursday has yielded to some rain here late. Doesn't look like it will be much in the grand scheme of things, but should cool down just a little bit behind this front for a couple days, then back in around 70 for the weekend, and especially later in the weekend. 9 minutes to go, back to pass, and throwing one up deep, and has it off the fingertips. Trying to set up his receiver, far side of the field. And that was Thomas Suba, and he did a lot of returning stuff in that first half, and right there trying to make a big play in the receiving game, which we haven't seen much of. It's kind of fun to see him actually go out and a traditional passing play, I should say.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the first time they kind of did a proper drop back, and you got to feel for Suba because you got to figure that if it wasn't raining,
right,
he probably would have caught that ball there. I mean, obviously for Hastings' perspective, it's a good thing.
Raiders want to keep that egg up there on the Blaze side. 4th down, back to pass. Now looking to put up the screen. Raiders got to zoom in there and try to break the play up. Won't do it. It's going to be a 1st down. Pass complete. Kamara, 1st down yardage. And that will, ooh, enough of that. I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. A little flash of something. That might have been
I think it was a car headlight.
Yeah, it was a car headlight or a first responder or something. It wasn't anything else that I saw.
Well, you figure Burnsville's playing for pride here because they have been blanked in I think 2 or 3 of their games, so they want to get this goose egg off.
Well, Kamara's going to do it right here. He's going in from 16. So Kamara's touchdown will make it 49-6. And it still will keep the clock running, which is good news considering the circumstances. Unless they get the 2 here, then we're in trouble for a while. Let me see if I can sneak over.
Yeah, there's a way to hide in here.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, I'd say we take another look at the replay, but
we have covered
the
up
fans
our
can take a
replay.
look at the replay.
Yeah. Romero, left-footed booter. There's the number 22. We've seen him on kickoff. Snap good, spot good, kicks up. That's good. So 49-7. And the Blaze get their first scoring drive, complete with a touchdown of 16 yards from Kamara. And the Raiders will get it back with the clock running once the kickoff is performed. 7:34 to go. And the Raiders, they will go to 4-3 with a tough road matchup.
You're calling this one already?
Next week. Yep, I am, as a matter of fact. But next week's going to be a lot tougher to call, Mailman. I mean, this is one where you got to bring this game with you. And I understand it's going to be a different team. It's a different situation. It's a different defense, offense, the whole thing. But you got to take something with this, or out of this with you on the road. It's an hour and a half, maybe 2-hour trip by bus. Not easy. And these guys can do it, though. You go play like you did tonight. They got to play on a Wednesday, too. Period. Let's go. Let's go play.
It's sort of a double-edged sword because you played very well as a team, but the one downside is that a lot of your starters rested the second half, so you might not have some of that momentum. Because, you play half a game, you didn't really play,
Sure.
I mean. So,
or did they get rest on the other side? Did it help them, maybe?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Right. Totally see that. And hopefully we see good things next week. And even if it doesn't result in going 5-3 in the regular season in the face of a tough schedule, bring something that we can take with the playoffs and make it fun. This one will be returned. And I think that kind of summarized what the Raiders want to do. Marshall Lanning again. He made a tackle on special teams earlier. Then you had the other Lanning who made a big play moments after he checked in, and that's Cameron Lanning. So Marshall's the sophomore. Cameron Lanning is the senior.
Well, there's no better time to attempt a sort of onside kick than when the field is soaked.
That's a good point, too, because that's not going to be easy to handle, but Lanning did a nice job. Falls on top of it. Now the Raider offense back out with Simon again under center. Adricula with the touchdown on the last offensive drive for Hastings. He will return to his spot at tailback. And they will give on an interior handoff that will go to Keller, but he's going to be thrown backwards. And that'll be a loss of a couple. The clock will continue to run with 6:38 to go here, and the rain as quickly as it came in and fell. There is now not a drop to be had, which is wonderful, and hopefully that will signify the end of that for tonight.
Well, and we're sort of seeing it play out here, even through the rain, even through the running time. You know, there's no such thing as garbage time for the second stringers that come in here. So.
Nope. Yeah, we split the uprights, for lack of better football terminologies. The Raiders will push the pile for a gain of 6. There's a pretty heavy rain shower thunderstorm just north of us near Cottage Grove, and then there's one just south of us, and that's where we saw the glow, if you will, and that's going to miss Hastings. So it looks like we probably escaped the worst of the small little disturbance moving through.
So you're telling me my dogs are freaking out right now?
Yeah, they could be, but it won't be for long, as this will move through, like we said earlier, as quickly as it came in. So hopefully everybody's dogs are just fine, whether they're in Cottage Grove, Hastings, or the otherwise. With 5:23 to go on the clock running, the Raiders will come out, single back set, and they'll hand off to Adricula, who will get the first down with forward progress as they pull his legs literally back behind the spot. But he already got the first down. And now we'll go under 5 minutes to go here in this game, with the Raiders up 49-7 and en route to a 4-3 record through the first 7 weeks of a very tough schedule, and maybe one of the toughest games of the season on deck next week for MEA.
You gotta feel good for the Raiders. You know, it's been a tumultuous season. Every game has been hard in its own right. Some maybe a little harder than others. Again, we talk about the scores maybe not being necessarily totally indicative of how they played. And it's not. I don't want to call this an easy one, because you still have to go out there and put in the work, and I don't want to discount what they did. But it's nice to have a game like this. They haven't had a game like this really all season.
Trying to do the little counterplay to Keller again, and that one didn't go too far, if not move back 3 yards. Raiders just trying to chew up the clock and get back to the high school with smiles on their faces. And I know a lot of these guys, if not every guy, will have smiles on their face here tonight. A lot of the guys, if not every one of them, found their way at least onto the field for a moment tonight, to have that moment, which I think is so very important. The stories they'll still always be able to tell their youngsters when they're older about that night on Todd Field that was so special. Although that story might change and get a little more grand from time to time, it will never be less special. And here is a handoff. Adricula again will gain a yard, and maybe just about that, 2 maybe, back to the original line.
I think you're right about that. I think in 10 years it'll be a 89-7 victory.
Yeah. And trust me, being out of high school for 25 years, those stories are that much more grandized as we get older. The runs become longer. The tackles become that much harder. And, yeah, it's fun. There's no doubt about that. Saw a lot of former Raiders here tonight, some with kids on this very team. Got to be special for many Raider families here this evening, gearing up now for the biggest game of the year at Mankato East.
And Tuck, can we just take a second to thank all the fans who stayed through the weather? I mean, I don't blame anybody for leaving, but plenty of people stayed here through the rain.
Yep.
Certainly the student section, but I mean, that was not easy. Hardcore fans.
And that's what you need. You know, you guys, we'll hang with you. We got your back. And our kids, no matter the game this year, have been there. And I think the Raiders will take a timeout here just to establish what they want to do here. 4th down likely will be a punt.
Although we have seen it sometimes where they go for it on 4th just to get that first down, so they can just run out the clock.
Right.
I wonder if that's something they might consider here.
It looked like Arnis was ready to punt it away. He was kind of warming that leg up. So I think he is going to do just that. And he comes out and it looks like punt formation. Burnsville a little behind the curve, still chatting with their special teams coaching. 2:26 to go as the Raider Nation chant from the student section that's still here, cheering loudly to the buzzer with 2:26 left. Arnis back. He has had a terrific game defensively. Hasn't had to punt much at all, but he's made a couple big hits on some guys he probably had no business hitting in the first place and took really good care of them. And this is fumbled. And then a Raider just got ran over, and I think he got the ball at the same time, and he did. He almost did similar to, and who got that one too? Is that? The Raiders do have it. Let's pull out my roster if I can get it out of the wetness that we just had moments ago, as that was a great play there, and I don't have a 48, so that's nice.
A mystery player.
A mystery player made a great play in recovering the fumble. Probably have to call Dick Craig here momentarily. Just give me a second here, fans.
Yeah, we'll get down to the bottom of this one. You know, I've heard of arm punts, but punting for a first down, you know, sort of the inverse.
So we don't know who 48 is. Nobody in the press box knows who 48 is. So again, we apologize to 48, his parents, and everybody who loves him, as we just do not know who he is, but he just made one whale of a play on the punt play that was fumbled, muffed, and recovered. No, it was 48. That was 48. We just don't have one. So, like you said, that was a great play. It's kind of one of those emperor without his clothes feelings when you don't know who it is and they make it one whale of a play and you just want to let them know that you appreciate what you saw. But still, Mr. 48, whoever you are, one whale of a play. And the Raiders will take over with that football, like you mentioned too, Mailman. The boys can kind of run this thing out now. Here's Simon, and he will hand off Adricula off right side. He breaks the first tackle. Second one he won't get away from, down near the 15. And that'll put us under 90 seconds.
That's how good the Raiders have played tonight. We have unnamed mystery players who are making plays.
Unreal. Unbelievable. Man, you know, I could swear that's not the beer tube. I'm actually getting pizza from Broadway. Smell that?
Yeah.
I'm getting pizza. I'm getting pizza. I can smell it now. That's definitely Broadway pizza.
Yeah, the rain did something.
STA is up 43-6 at halftime, so
can't say that's too surprising.
No, and that actually is kind of what Raider fans might have wanted, because you want to keep that distance between Two Rivers and Hastings, and with the Raiders and Two Rivers both kind of getting blown out, the worst blowout will take the less or the less blow, if you will, and the QRF. So that's not a bad thing. I mean, all of us would love to see Two Rivers beat them and be happy about it, but you could probably, well, I can try to maybe take off. Well, maybe not. It's pretty wet under the computer, so I'm not gonna force anything, as this will do it, folks. Just letting Hunter know we can't see the screen, so we will let you know that the final score tonight, Hastings 49, the Burnsville Blaze 7, in a well-played game from start to finish for this Hastings team. Everybody got on the field. Even kids that maybe didn't think they played tonight made some plays in front of their friends and family. Wonderful. The Shady Show is still in effect, although we only had to see half of a Shady Show. It was just as good as any of the other shows we've seen. We'll take this one, but we got to build and, again, take something out of it and bring it down to Mankato next week.
The Shady Show, it's the best ticket in town. I'll tell you that much. It's good to have a victory like this. You're right, but as fun as this one, the season's obviously not over. Like you're saying, we got a tough one down there at Mankato East, and then of course sections.
49-7 the final. Again, just a great win for the Raiders. And yeah, is he trying to do some recaps or what? He's going to do some recap. Oh, we're going to take a look at the soccer bracket. There we go. That's what we wanted to look at. So right now, the way things shake down for the Hastings girls soccer team will continue their playoffs after their 10-2 win yesterday against Twin Cities Academy. They'll now play at Toddfield Saturday at 1 o'clock. They will take on Highland Park, who pulled a gigantic upset. They upset Simley yesterday by a final score of 2-1. So the Raiders now will have the 6-seeded Highland Park Scots here 1 o'clock Saturday. And then the winner of that game will play the winner of Holy Angels, the 1 seed who's been awesome all year, Creighton-Durham Hall. I know them guys just with family ties on that squad. I know they're very good. So if the Raiders find a way to beat the Scots, they're going to have their hands full. But man, how exciting for this girls soccer program to get a chance, a chip in a chair, maybe to get on to our first ever state tournament.
It's a good time to be a Raiders sports fan, that's for sure.
With upcoming broadcast, the 14th, volleyball or soccer, stay tuned. We'll let you know what goes on. Same with sectional football. We don't know quite yet. Look at the 25th, same thing. We got football, we got volleyball sections. Wherever we can be, football first. If we're not at football, we'll be at volleyball. Same with Halloween. Hopefully, some football. Section final action, all decked out in our finest of scary costumes. It's going to be a blast. And again, thank you so much, Hunter Pinky. Great job tonight. Kyle and Jeremy were not here, but we love them anyway. Our camera people, Max Slocum, Ian Andrusak, Will Celine, Mike Bramer. Take a hike, Mike, hanging with us tonight. Of course, Hunter on the graphics, the replay, and all that stuff. Thanks to the Spool House. Thanks to Culver's. And again, folks, if you want to be part of this, what we do every single game, you get a hold of Hastings Community Television. Let them know you want your business to support this fun stuff we have all the time on HCTV. So that's it for us. We're getting ready for a trip now as we head down to Mankato. We ourselves will not be there, but we'll try to keep you up to date. My Twitter, at Tuck Sports, I will have some updates as I get them relayed to me from Dick, and we'll make sure we have those for you as well. Look at those guys, senior night, the seniors, smiles. That'll say enough for me and for all of us tonight. As this group of guys, I love every one of them, and I'm so happy I've been able to be with these guys, whether on the radio or TV, for their whole Raider career. It's been wonderful, but we got another one. We got one more big game coming up next week, and we'll have more on that, plus playoffs, much more. That's Raider soccer. Keep it tuned to HCTV. Any final thoughts from you, Mailman, as we wrap things up?
No, I think let's get out of here and let's go to Culver's.
Time to go to Culver's. Patty Melt on my way. That's going to do it for us. Final score 49-7. Raiders put the whooping down on the Blaze, and glad we could be here for you on HCTV. Have a great night, everybody.